Welcome to the Royals Talk, a series of talks hosted by Reading Royals Futsal Club, who have brought together figures from the world of futsal and elite sports to share their experiences, insights, knowledge and stories.
Thank you very much for attending another The Royals Talk. This week we've got the great pleasure to have with us José María Jimenez Alonso, best known as Chema, professional futsal coach that's been in different countries, inclusive in England, where he won the league title with Baku United. Also, he was the manager of Peru and other teams as well. But he's going to tell us all the stories. Chema, thank you so much for accepting our invitation. So today we're going to have Phil Lunt and Dominic Pierce to ask you some questions, and I hope everyone enjoy it, and I'm sure it will be a great session. So we are open to questions, so you are more than welcome to post your questions, raise your hand, or you can write in the chat and then we can ask for you. But you are more than welcome to ask yourself. Okay, so I hope everyone enjoyed, and I'll pass the ball to Phil.
But after, in my experience out my country, Russia is the best country, you know, because England, with all my respect for you, England, my experience in England was very difficult in this situation. I was speaking many times with FA about the organization, about the simple things. It's not necessary money to improve in a lot of things, you know. And in Peru, it's difficult too. And South Korea, they play, for example, in Korea, in the first play. All the teams go to the same play, and in one day, Saturday, normally, they play all the matches. So for me, Russia in this question is the best federation, the best competition in my experience.
You kind of talked about it again before. How do you think we could develop futsal here in England so that it's as good as maybe Russia or something?
In England?
Yeah, it's tough.
Difficult question too. You know, my experience in England was difficult because I arrived to England in 2013, you know, with Baku United. They arrived to Final Four. And sincerely with you, I was buying food for my players, buying food to eat. So thinking in that, you know, is we won the league in this situation. And after, of course, the project go much better with professional players, with a lot of money, sincerely with you. But in England, I think the situation is the federation cannot help futsal in this situation, you know, because I don't remember this Fernando David Jason, the president of the federation, remember? The name of the president of the futsal in England. Dave Jason.
When you were here?
5 years ago.
Yeah. I can't
Dave
remember
Jason,
the name. I can't remember the name.
One share very old. I was speaking with them, you know, some change in the federation, but the problem, Dominic, is very important. It's like in Spain. If the federation only think in football and they are football people, it's very difficult to help futsal. In Spain, it's the same. In Peru, it's the same. Because they love football, not they love futsal. And sometimes the federation doesn't understand nothing about our sport, you know? For example, where we play in UEFA in Barcelona, Elite Round with Baku, two people from FA come with us and they don't understand our rules in futsal. So can you imagine in Barcelona, in the Palau, important pitch in the world, you know, two guys from FA and they ask the people which is the rules in this sport? You know, this is difficult to understand for the people, you know?
Yeah.
And we play elite round. So difficult.
Chema, hi, good evening. It's good to see you and hear from you. I understand from Fernando that you were interviewed for the England job. Is this correct, for the national team? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. If you got the job, how would you have changed the way England play, perhaps? Because the English player is not as good as the Spanish player. So this is a big challenge for the coach.
I know. I was speaking with FA many times. FA decides head coach in national team, another mate, you know. But my project was very important in England. The first change for me is the same, is mentality, you know. And the second is work with kids. For example, your club in Royal, you know, we work with a lot of kids. It's very important, you know. They must love our sport. They must understand our sport. They must think every day in our sport, you know. And maybe this is the problem in England. I remember, Richard, when I arrived to London in a sport house, Fernando knows maybe this pitch in London, Tottenham, Arsenal, which more? West Ham. These three clubs, important in football, they training every Saturday in a sport house. When I arrived to London, I was watching their training. They training with balls, football in our pitch. They training with botas, boots, but football boots, no futsal shoes, you know? So I was speaking with the coaches with all my respect and tell them this isn't our sport. It's totally different, you know. It's totally different. The problem in England, the football is the best sport in your country, you know. I know this. So it's difficult futsal. It's difficult enter in the society, in the mentality, in the people. I remember I was speaking with a lot of people in London, explain my sport in futsal. We visited schools even. So maybe schools is good place to start to improve our sport in England, in the schools. Present the project, the ball, the rules, play with the kids in the street, you know. This is, my opinion, the first step in your country.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for you, Richard.
So when you was with Baku, you qualified for the Champions League.
Yeah.
Not many English teams have done that since, well, got to the stage you did. What do you think they need to do to make that jump to be able to get as far as you did?
One coach like Chema, I think. Seriously. Our project in Baku was totally different, you know, because our project was totally professional. Our player, very important player in futsal, you know. What need this club? For example, Helvetia, maybe in the last championship, Jose Carlos played with them, for example. I was speaking because Jose Carlos was my player and also he's my friend. You know, the problem is the first, repeat, is very important for me, is the mentality. If you go to play in Europe and you don't think you can win, don't go. This is the first. In England, in national team, is the same. When I was speak with Duck, Red, you know, with James, a lot of players, Raoni, you know, with we were speaking with them. Your mentality is no good because, for example, one match you lost 5-1, for example, and you told me, no problem, one goal, you know, it's only 5 goals received. How is possible? You lost the match, you know. If you go thinking you're gonna lose the match, it's no good mentality. This is the first. The second thing, very important, is preparate the competition, you know. It's not possible go to play in Europe and you training maybe 2 days per week and maybe to training 2 weeks before, you know. It's not possible. This is the second. And the third things, you must have the good player to play in this competition. I mean, for example, Helvetia, you know, they play with a lot of Brazilian players, always. A lot of Brazilian players, you know, and maybe the people think this is not England players. This is not England teams. In Baku, for example, I decide in all the years, minimum 4 or 6 English players we had. In all the season, you know, I remember Calvin, now he play in Helvetia, you know. I remember James, that, you know, this player, English player, training with us every day. Maybe it's not possible English player after playing Europe with Baku because our performance must be very, very high, you know. But if, for example, the score is very good for us, they play in Europe too. This is very good for them, you know. And the problem, I remember, for example, some clubs in London, they don't play with English players. For example, in London, you know, many people, it's not English. So this is another problem because it's not possible to play with all the Brazilian players. What happened with the English players? Because Brazilian and Spanish and another countries, you know, can help you, but you need to play with English players. I defend this opinion because it's your country and you can help English players because they're training with other players and they improve and grow every day. Understand me, this opinion?
Yeah, no, yeah, it makes sense, obviously. So you coached at Baku for, was it 3 years?
Yeah, 3 years.
So would you consider coming back to England to coach again? Or are you happy traveling the world coaching?
Maybe tomorrow, Phil, it is possible. Sincerely with you, I was very happy in England, very, very happy. Very happy because when I arrived there, remember, I bought the food for my players. When I leave England, we are living in Stratford, in Olympic area, you know? So yeah. The change was different totally. I like England, I like English people, I like a lot of things, you know? But the problem, when I was speaking with the FA, I present my project, they decide no professional coach, you know? They choose, remember Kubala, the coach in national team. But you know, if I receive good offer, if I receive good project, I don't speak about the good money. For me, this is very different, you know? The money, I need the money to live, you know? But yeah. I need illusion, I need passion. I need another thing for me, very important, you know? It's not only the money in my life. It's good atmosphere, it's like performance, you know, good experience. Remember, I was living in Peru 2 years, difficult country, very difficult country. I was living in South Korea, you know, in condition very, very difficult for me. But the illusion, the passion is no problem for me. Come back to England. If you know some project, please let me know.
Fernando's got a good one going in Reading.
Yeah.
Wow, Fernando is the best head coach in your club.
Go on,
So, what expectations do you set for your players, both on and off the court?
Firstly, off the court, good person. For me, this is very important because remember, my word is team, you know. If you have in my team bad player, you know, the coach no put me in the pitch, I need to play 15 minutes, not only 5 minutes. I have the best player in the team. I don't like this, you know. I like effort, sacrifice, humility. This is for me 3 values very important in one thing, you know. Inside the pitch, the first attitude. This is the first attitude. If you enter in the pitch without attitude, it's not possible to play my sport. You know, you enter in the pitch, like walk, you know, you don't go to press the ball, you don't go to help your mate, you don't go, I don't know exactly, you know. So the first is attitude. The second is mentality. I don't mind the score. I mean, if when finish the match, we lost the match, okay, we lost the match. But if I lost the match without fight, without put in the pitch everything, without finish the match, I said, I cannot more. I cannot more, you know? But if I put all in the pitch, this is the second, all in the pitch. And the third, the player must be very good mentality. Very good mentality. Because in our sport, the score and the situation change each minute. Yes or not? Change.
Yeah, no, completely, yeah.
The score, 2-0 is nothing. 2-0 is nothing at all, you know? And maybe you lost one ball, transition to another team, and you receive one ball. So your mentality must be very important. Cristina, goalkeeper, very important mentality in our sport. Goalkeeper is the half of the team in the pitch. This is my opinion. 15%.
His words, Rich, not mine.
Yeah, because Dominic is also the goalkeeper.
Ah, good, good. So Dominic, you and Cristina are 15 of the team. It's my opinion. Goalkeeper is very important in our sport. And goalkeeper must be maybe the best player here. Here, the best player. Mentality is very important. You receive one goal, okay, one goal, but the second, no receive more. Yeah. Even in the training, not only in the match, in the training. Because your team needs you top in the training. Because if your mates don't score you goal, they're going to improve much more. If your mates score goals very easy, after in the match is not good for them. Because they're going to think in the match is easy to score goal. But another goalkeeper is not your mate. Understand?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, sometimes it's a bit of the pressure, yeah? You're in the goal, and every time they score, you know, the score is going to stick in there. It's not going to move out. It's going to be there, you know? So sometimes it's a lot of pressure. But yeah,
but
we'll try.
The pressure is very good. It's amazing.
Yeah, I know.
It's amazing. I prefer the pressure in myself. It's very good play with pressure. It's like coach, you know? I prefer play with press. I don't like press. I don't like play futsal without people in the tribune, you know?
Yeah.
I prefer
the crowd, yeah.
Thousand and thousand people watching me. Even told me, Chema bat. Better for me. It's much better. Because my motivation is high, you know? And my concentration, I remember, for example, in Poland, we played with Baku in Poland the first time in the preliminary round. The first time we play with ultras. I don't know, it's the hooligans hooligans, you know, in the pitch.
Yeah, the ultras, yeah.
Hooligans, Poland. You can see the match in YouTube. You know, in Poland, I don't know, maybe 1,000 hooligans in one pitch, you know. This, for us, the best. We won the match 0-7. This match, 0-7. Marcelo, this match was like a animal. Concentration, attitude, motivation, because you watch the tribune with these hooligans, this press is amazing. If you love this sport, this is the best for you. Is my opinion.
Yeah.
So that obviously was a very good game for you. When you was a player and you played in goal, what was your favorite game that you played, or your biggest game?
I don't understand the last phrase.
So when you were a player,
yeah,
what was the biggest game you played?
When I was goalkeeper, what?
Yeah, so what was like the biggest game, like the best game you played in?
The best game? Against Inter Movistar. Against Inter Movistar, we can play, it's like FA Cup in Spain. We play against them, you know. I remember they won, but I remember this match very important because I play against maybe the best player in the world in this moment, you know. Daniel, Schumacher, Betao, Marquinhos. Amazing. Play against this player. No sé cómo se dice, Cristina, pelos de punta, pero I don't know in English.
Yeah, I think it's like having goosebumps. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Is it goosebumps? Yeah.
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 It. Goosebumps. Yeah.
Okay.
So you obviously was a goalkeeper. Did you play fly goalkeeper much?
No. No, because I'm very, very old already, you know. In my experience like goalkeeper, the rule of the goalkeeper, fly goalkeeper, sorry, is not in the futsal yet.
Okay.
I don't have this experience, you know. And sincerely with you, Philip, I don't like this rule in my sport, sincerely.
Okay.
Why? Because, you know, I prefer, when I was losing in one match, I prefer put much more intensity, put much more 1 against 1, you know, put much more like a fight, you know, a press the ball. Because after fly goalkeeper, sincerely with you, one question, Philip. If you play fly goalkeeper 10 matches and you are losing 2 goals different, how many matches you gonna recuperate the score?
Probably 1 or 2. 1
or 2. So you lose 8. So, you know, it's good tactic, in good moment, like coach, I must work this tactic, of course, but you know, after the statistic, it's not good, really. You know, maybe sometimes if the another team go with 5 fouls, I prefer put in the pitch the best player in 1 against 1, give the ball, and told him, enjoy, play, go, you know. Maybe much better, you know, because now our sport, always when you are losing, put fly goalkeeper. Even in my last team here in Spain, 2nd division, many players, you know, when we are losing, look me, Chema, put a fly goalkeeper. Guys, calm down, don't worry, calm down. We're gonna try to do best, you know, and after maybe I decide this tactic. But you know, now the defense in fly goalkeeper is very good. So it's not easy to score goals now in fly goalkeeper, you know. You must have very good quality pass, very good shoot, very good control the ball, very fast, you know. So I put this tactic, but in my opinion, in our sport, if FIFA can, please put off this rule. It's like goalkeeper pass the ball in all the pitch. I don't like this rule. For me, it's very bad in futsal. How is possible in one goalkeeper can pass the ball in another half, you know? So they press the ball, high press, what happened with the high press? But it's only my opinion. I respect everyone.
So you don't use fly keeper. So tactically, how do you set up? Do you set up as a 3-1 or a 4-0?
I prefer 3-1 with pivot, you know, I like, because 4-0 is not easy to play. You need a lot of time. I remember in England, I tried to play 4-0, but you know, if you play 4-0, another team defense is in 10 and 12 meters, what happened with 4-0? 4-0, for example, now, Tino Perez, coach on the Inter Movistar, is my friend. He lives here in Toledo. He was my coach too. He played 4-0, but he received high press. You know, the another team go to recuperate the ball. So 4-0 with good player is very good idea. But is the another team defense down? 4-0 is nothing. It's not possible attack with 4-0, you know? So in my teams, I prefer war 3-1 with pivot, you know? I prefer this reference, but the pivot is not only in the attack, it's movement, you know? It's like in English is rotation is correct?
Yeah.
Rotation, yeah. You know? Go out and enter another player, go out and enter with parallel, with diagonal, you know, with 1-to-1, different situation, but the reference is 3-1 with pivot, you know, and change the situation, because 4-0, you need a lot of time. You need good players, good technique, you know, control, pass, movement, looking, you know, position of the body is, you need a lot of time to work 4-0, because now the futsal 4-0 is amazing. Here in Toledo is the first place start like 4-0, because Cego, Fernando knows him for sure. Cego is Brazilian coach, and he arrived here in Toledo, and he is starting here to make 4-0 in my city, in Toledo, you know. So now Jesus Velasco, he play he's like coaching in Paris with Ricardinho. He lives here in Toledo too. Tino Perez, these coaches work a lot of time 4-0, you know, because they have very good players. 4-0 is not easy to play in attack.
What sort of... Oops, sorry, Phil.
No, go on, Dom.
I was going to say, what sort of things do you look for that make you change your tactics or strategy?
During the match?
Yeah.
You mean? Sincerely with you, my teams always play in the same tactic. I mean, I don't change normally with the score, you know, because I prefer our personality in the pitch. You know, I don't change normally. For example, if we are losing, I don't change 4-0, 3-1. Our system is this, and we're gonna defense, and we're gonna confident in our system, you know, because during the match is not normally change a lot of time the tactics. You can change small things, but it's not possible set. For example, my defense is we change, opponent change, you know. I always press height, width in the first line, change opponent, you know. It's not individual, I mean. You know, It's not always individual. Sometimes, maybe in one match, I told them, only individual. Why? Because maybe the another team go up very easy, you know, and I change this tactic, but it's very small details. You know, for example, in a strategic, is zone or individual. In this situation, for example, my goalkeeper, we use two numbers. Number one is individual defense. Number two is zone, you know, in the same position. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
So the goalkeeper always told the players 1, 2, and we change the defense. In this situation, it's like I don't told you in English. It's like the mentality that another team knows is the defense is individual or zone, you know. So it's difficult for them, you know. But in this situation, change in this situation. But in defense, in my opinion, is not normal. Maybe if I have press height, if the score is very good for me, maybe go to half of the pitch. But sometimes, you know, not always. Sorry. I don't have COVID. Already?
I hope not.
So working with players, what advice would you give to, say, like, so we've got a lot of younger players. What advice would you give to those who are now breaking into the men's game?
In the young players?
Yeah, so we've got some 17-year-olds and 16-year-olds who are now just playing with men for the first time. What advice would you give to them?
I think your question is if I use young player in the match.
Yes, but would you also, what advice would you give
when
to
I use
young
the
players?
young player in the match?
Yeah.
If this young player training good during the week and his mentality is very good, and after his performance is good for me it's no problem play like an adult player, you know. Why not? Because it's not possible in young player after, no, you don't play because you are very young, you don't have experience. How is possible told him you don't have experience and you don't put in the pitch? If I want this player has experience, I must put in the pitch. Of course, during the match, in difficult moments, when the match is in this moment, you can win, you can lose. Of course, like coach, you choose the best player in this moment. But why not use young player in different moments during the match? Because if you're confident in this player, you know, it's good opportunity for him or for them to make experience, you know. Some coaches decide not put the young player during the match. Why not? They are the future in the futsal, you know. So of course it's not possible put 2 or 3 young players in the same moment in the pitch, but you can use, for example, the young player with experienced players, you know.
Chema, just allow me to say 1 second. Te lo digo en español, porque creo que lo que estaba preguntando es qué consejo le darías a un chaval que esté empezando nuevo en el equipo.
So sorry, I don't understand the question exactly. Thank you, Cristina.
Right.
Good Spanish.
That's okay.
Good Spanish.
Yeah. Chema, porque tenemos muchos jugadores ahora que vienen de hace 11 años. Tenían 11 años, empezaron en el club y ahora están empezando a jugar con los adultos. Tiene 16, 17 años. ¿Qué consejo, como Cristina le dice, qué consejos le darías a ellos para entrenar mejor, esas cosas todas?
I understand now. I'm so sorry for my mistake in English. So sorry. You know, if I remember when I was in England too, I was working with young players and I was speaking with them 2 things very, very easy. You must learn every day in each training, not only for your coach, for your mates too, it's very important learn. And the second thing, you must respect all the situation in the teams. I mean, if the coach, in this case, Fernando, decide this young player not play in this moment, this young player is not possible, you know, like the face, like sad, you know, like it's not good, you know. This is two things for me very, very important. The first, learning each day, in each training, in each match, in each situation, in each meeting. And the second, respect your coach and your mates. This is very important for the young player. And patient. It's not easy to play 30 minutes with 70 years. Only Messi, maybe, you know? So it's not possible. So patient and effort, sacrifice, humility.
Chema, who would you say is the best goalkeeper that you've coached, and what made them the best?
Now or in the past?
You can have both if you'd like.
In the past, for me, Luis Amado was the best goalkeeper in the world. This is my opinion, because he won 2 World Cup, you know, and 5 Europe Championship, and a lot of titles. For me, in the past, Luis Amado is very important. And now for me, Leo Higuita, you know, for me, this goalkeeper is very special, not only because he played like fly goalkeeper amazing, because after when he is down the goal, you know, he's very good goalkeeper. It's amazing in the area. He's very fast, you know, and he decide the pass in counter-attack very good too. So this is my opinion. Luis Amado in the past, and now I think Higuita is, I like to watch him, for example. I like to watch him. And now Cristina too, sorry.
Yeah.
I would say Sedano.
Pierce highlights.
No, Cristina, I forgot.
I would say Sedano is a good goalkeeper.
Very good goalkeeper too.
Sedano, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Paco is very good goalkeeper. But now he is working in the federation.
Yeah, he's retired. He's not playing anymore.
Yeah.
So you've coached clubs, and you've coached obviously in Peru. Do you prefer coaching clubs or countries?
It's totally different, feel it. Totally different. Because
what makes it different?
The first is very important. With class, you're training every day, all the weeks. With national team, maybe you are working with them 1 week in 3 months, you know? So it's totally different, totally different. My experience in Peru was amazing because I was working with 5 national teams, adult, women, and 16 years, 18 years, and 20 years, you know? So my job there was very, very good. But if you go only training one national team, it's very bored. Very, very bored, you know? It's not each week, each day. It's only watching the match, speak by phone with them, you know? But you need to work with them. It's totally different. And after is the mentality. Mentality is totally different too. Why? Because the player go with national team, their motivation is top, you know, is top. So you don't need to put then videos and motivation, because they are work with their country, you know, and this is different too. And another different important field is the direction of the group is different, because the player in one club, they are a very good community, you know, like friends, you know, and in national team is not like this. They come of the different teams, you know, and maybe they are together 2 weeks, and the relationship sometimes is not easy, you know, because they play against them, you know, and maybe one problem, and they remember this problem, and, you know, it's difficult. In my experience, for example, sometimes I was speaking with some player, okay, guys, the problem in this match, forget. You are playing with the same t-shirt, you know, so forget, stay here, put everything in the pitch, out the pitch, you know, and good atmosphere, because it's only 2 weeks together. And if you had felt some problem in 2 weeks, It's difficult, you know. For example, in national team, maybe you are 2 weeks in the same hotel, you know. So 2 weeks together is different like clubs. About relationship is totally different.
So in the future then, what does that hold for you? Do you want to stay in club management, or do you want to, is that your future?
Sincerely with you, I prefer club. I prefer club because I like this sport. It's my passion. I love futsal. I need futsal every day. Maybe feeling confident with you. I am watching each week 20, 25 matches in different countries, you know. Spain, Italy, Russia, Asia too, you know. China, I watching now some matches in China. So I need training every day. I need contact with futsal every day. But national team, about all, Philip, the tournament in national team are amazing, you know. It's very important. For example, with Peru, I play in America Cup, you know, in Argentina, you know. I play against Brazil, against Argentina there. These matches, trust me, the press, Cristina, top no, much more top, because the people there, incredible. Double to hooligans in Argentina, the double. Hooligans are kids in comparison with Argentina people. Amazing. So this experience is good in tournament about all.
Fernando, then I think me and Dom have pretty much covered our long list of questions. So it will open it up to anyone else, and yourself and Rich and Braden.
Lovely, that's really good. Thank you. Yeah, Chema, I've got, before I pass to everyone else, I've got a scenario for you. Let's say World Cup final, okay? World Cup final. Spain against Portugal, okay? 1 minute for the final whistle. Portugal is winning 1-0. Sorry.
Only 1-0.
Yeah. Spain was defending very well. Now, the question, fly keeper or normal 5v5?
Against Portugal, fly goalkeeper. because you defense very bad, fly goalkeeper.
I don't think so.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
No, I know.
In this situation, my decision is fly goalkeeper for sure. It's only 1 minute. You must change. You know, it's only 1-0, but you must change the situation. You know, if maybe Portugal has 5 fouls, you know, I put 2 Adri in the pitch, I put 2 Medrano on the pitch, and maybe 1-1, you know, but maybe 6 fouls. But maybe the referee, maybe it's Mark. The referee is Mark or not?
Mark Birke, I don't know, maybe.
Is the referee is Mark? Maybe I put 1-1 because he's my friend. Maybe.
Good question. Good answer. Thank you. Okay, so just to situate in this, so Richard and Braden, they are now. Richard is the coach of the adults, manager, and Braden as well. So Braden is a New Zealand international futsal player, and he joined us last season, and this season is a player and a coach as well. Okay, just to explain the players as well. And we've got a lot of players here, men's, women, we've got parents as well, coaches, we've got some coaches here as well. So there's quite a good different kind of people here, which is great. So if anyone now has got any questions, please come forward.
Rich, do you want to go first, or would you like me to go?
You go first, and then yours question will be better than mine.
Chema, thank you so much for joining us. hopefully you can understand my accent is a little bit different to the other guys. My first question is, well, personally, I've had a long relationship with futsal, and I worked for our FA in New Zealand for 5 years. But my question to you is, do you think that futsal can meet its potential being governed by FIFA? So what I mean by that is I believe futsal should be as big as basketball. Futsal is an amazing sport to play and to watch.
But you mean in New Zealand, in England?
No, in the world. In the world, I'm sure you agree that futsal has not reached the potential that it should, because it's an amazing sport. And like you say, you know, we're often governed by people who football is their priority, not futsal. And do you think that futsal could meet its potential being governed the way it is globally? Or do you think there maybe needs to be a change for futsal to blossom, you know, to create a league like the NBA in basketball or something? I know La Liga in Spain is very popular, but in the Western world, you know, we don't have the superstars really. Only our futsal community know of Ricardinho and Falcao. So yeah, I'm just interested in your opinion, because you've been involved in the game for so long. You must also have some frustrations and some ideas on what you think needs to happen.
I'm gonna ask you one question for you. What happened in New Zealand with the federation, for example? Because I know your situation.
Yeah.
So maybe this question in your country is in amazing. In all the countries in the world, you know, because
our situation, I think, is unique. I've also played in Australia, and I've seen other countries, and the difference in New Zealand is that our FA fully support futsal. It's fully integrated. We have, you know, at New Zealand Football, 4 staff working in futsal: men's futsal, women's futsal. I would say most people in the country now know the sport. It's in schools. So, but I don't see that being replicated in other countries, like in England. Obviously, the FA, you know.
My opinion is very clear in this situation. Futsal is not Olympic sport, you know. Yeah. This is the first problem. We don't have a special federation for us. This is the second. And the third, the people organization our sport love futsal or not love futsal. This is the third, because our passion is this sport. Futsal is a special sport. It's not like football, you know, because, for example, my team is Barça, for example, Barcelona, you know, but I don't have passion for Barcelona like at futsal, you know. It's totally different. So these 3 things for me is very important. No Olympic sport.
Yeah.
This is the first. The second is very important. The people organization, our league, love this sport. And the third, maybe is the people in futsal must, how do you say, must believe in ourselves, you know, must believe in ourselves. Sometimes it's like England mentality, you remember, you know, in one match, you know, if we don't have good mentality to believe, you believe in ourselves, how is possible after Olympic sport, or maybe it's possible like basketball, you know, or similar sport? It's not possible.
Great.
It's not possible. It's totally different.
It's nice to hear those thoughts from, because you've had such long experience. I'll just ask one more and then I'll pass on to Richard. And it's a similar question, and it's around, in Spain, I'm just wondering, how do people how is futsal perceived? Like, how do people think about futsal compared to football? Just because often what I've seen, yes, futsal helps football, but I always hear futsal will make great football players. And personally, this frustrates me. I like football, but I don't care. I want to create great futsal players. And I'm just wondering what the relationship is like between futsal and football. Is it a good relationship, or is it a little unsteady in terms of how people look at futsal?
The people in the street, you know, love futsal. But the problem here in Spain is two things. The first, the futsal play maybe in small cities. You know, it's not in big city. For example, Madrid, the capital in our country, they don't have futsal in third division. Inter Movistar in very near Madrid, but it's not Madrid capital. You know, Barcelona, they play in Barcelona. Is totally different, you know. So the people love futsal, and now the relationship football and futsal in the federation, in the professional league, is like hate, you know, hate. This is the problem in our sport, because we love futsal and they don't love our sport, and fight, you know, fight. In all the country, in Peru, in Russia, in New Zealand, for example, because I know the last guy, like committee of futsal in your country, Dave, you know?
You know Dave?
Yeah, of course, he's my friend. I was speaking 2 years ago to go to New Zealand to train. So I know him perfectly. So this is the problem. But after the people, for example, some football clubs has futsal too, you know?
Yeah.
And now in Spain, our mentality, or their mentality better, are changing. Why? Because they think if the kids start to play futsal, like Messi, like Ronaldo, like Ronaldinho, like Cristiano, after they're gonna play better players in football. And change this mentality. Now, for example, in my city, I had one project with the football team. They play in third division, you know? It's not the best, but they understand now futsal can help football. This is very good mentality, you know, because we are working with kids, you know, technique, tactic in a small space with small balls, and the technique grow, and after, when put in the pitch, in the grass, you know, this player, better player, because they control better the ball, they think very, very fast, you know, with receive the press. So this is the change now in Spain, our mentality. But remember, my friend, federation and futsal always fight, because we love and they don't love. In FA is the same. Yes or not, guys? The FA is the same. So it's in all the countries, not only in England, in Spain, it's in all the countries.
Okay. Thank you for your time on that one. I'll pass over to Richard.
Thank you for you. Good English.
Rich, can I quickly jump in? So off Braden's question about the clashes, you said in Spain, like some football teams have futsal teams. So like Barcelona have a football and a futsal. Do you think that might be a way forward in some countries to get the game started for football teams to have a futsal team as well?
Portugal so like is another example. Portugal is the same. Some football clubs has futsal too, you know. In Russia, it's not normal at all. Okay. It's not normal. Only Dynamo, you know, but it's not easy. Why? Because football think futsal is down. They don't understand futsal can't help them, you know, because the player after play football much better. How many players starting to play futsal in football? How many? A lot of players, you know, about all Portuguese, Spanish, Brazilian, you know, Italy. So this is the difference. But the problem is their mentality. My opinion is very clear. Futsal can help football, of course, totally. I had one project very, very good. I present FA in the past about this because I think it's something. Remember my history with Tottenham, Arsenal, and West Ham? Can you imagine in these clubs think in the future and put futsal to the kids? English player training futsal and play futsal with very good coaches and training futsal and after go to play football? Do you know Iniesta, isn't it?
Yeah.
Iniesta live very near from Toledo. They start to play futsal. You know, you see now Iniesta play football with the brain? It's amazing, yes or not?
Yeah, no, yeah. He's head and shoulders above.
Only they must confident in futsal. It's only that. And explain the situation. And of course, put the money in the project. Of course.
Yeah, Rich, over to you. Sorry to interrupt you.
That's fine. I was actually going to say, does anyone else want a question? I've had a question, so I've got loads of questions, Chema, so don't worry.
If Rich is going to offer.
Okay, if no one. Oh, go on. Sorry, go on. Sorry, Dominic. You've had loads. God.
Yeah, but you offered, so I'll take it.
Okay, go on then. You'll drop it anyway.
I will. It's actually to do with that. So, Chema, what do you think is the most important bit of training for goalkeepers to be doing?
Difficult question too, you know. The best training to goalkeeper, you mean? You asked me about the training for goalkeeper.
Yeah.
You know tennis ball?
Yeah.
You know racket?
Not liking where this is going.
Yeah. Now in Spain is very popular paddle. I don't know, Cristina, in England, but with this racket, for me, training goalkeeper with tennis ball is very important. It's very important. Okay. All the situation with tennis ball, you know, the movement, fast, you know, the decision, not only with one coach, with two coach. I have a lot of exercise about this, you know, put the ball in the hole, you know, and put, and after, you know, movement. I work in a lot of time with tennis ball with goalkeeper.
Okay.
If you need some videos, let me know. I send you without problem.
I might take you up on that. Yeah, I was gonna say, can I get that anyway? Yeah.
And everybody the same. If you need some videos, and Fernando can give you my email, my Twitter. If you need, please, free. No problem at all. I am at your disposal.
All right, thank you very much.
Tina, she wants to ask a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I'd like to ask, Chema, you're a goalkeeper, you're also a coach. Would you say it's important to have specifically a goalkeeper coach on the team so we can be more prepared for the matches, for the trainings, and to improve more?
¿Qué me has dicho lo último que no me he enterado?
Vale, sí, perdón. Que me refiero, ¿tú crees que es importante tener un entrenador específicamente para porteros, para mejorar, para poder entrenar mejor por separado?
In this case with goalkeeper, I always have one specific coach to train goalkeeper in my projects, but I like to train with goalkeeper, you know, so always training, a specific training with goalkeeper 1 hour before the training. So maybe the team training 8 p.m., goalkeeper 1 hour before, and training with I, you know, a specific training. And not only in the pitch, maybe put the video, because I work a lot of time with video. I am very heavy with videos, very, very heavy. Soy muy pesado, Cristina.
Ya, pero es la única forma. Para mí, yo lo veo genial.
Thank you so much.
Just one thing, Shem. I think Christina is trying to say something to us because we don't have a goalkeeper coach.
I free. I can go.
Welcome.
No, soy muy pesada con el tema, pero porque me gusta mejorar. Como soy muy nueva, me gustaría poder mejorar y pues eso.
Now in English.
Yeah, sorry, I was saying my problem is I'm really stubborn with this because I just want to improve and be better for the team. That's all.
This is very good, Fernando.
Yeah,
the player.
Yeah, I know.
It's very good mentality.
It is.
Very good.
Chema, firstly, I want to thank you because Braden is a very good futsal coach, and he's trying to build an identity in the Royals team, which is good. And a lot of what you say is what Braden and I are trying to build in the club, which is great. It's really good to hear someone like yourself talk about attitude, passion, and all these things, which is we can build a very strong club on those foundations, so which is good. And also at the moment you've motivated me with the our battle with the FA as well, so which is really good because it's going to get very messy, and not Leonardo it is going to get a bit of a battle in the next 2 or 3 months, I think. So thank you for that, and I think just your enthusiasm and everything, you've said a lot of things that a lot of other coaches we've spoken to haven't said so clearly. So thank you.
Thank you for
very good.
Thank you, Richard, for your words, and always with Fernando and you and everyone. You know, for me it's no problem. My pleasure. I'm so sorry for my English. It's good 1 hour speed and remember some words, but at your disposal. When you need me, please let me know.
My Spanish is rubbish, so that's good. Your English is brilliant.
Thank you so much.
So anyone else? Any more questions? We nearly 1 hour and a half. Time flies, and but that's good. That we spent a very good an hour and a half. Was amazing to listen to Chema. So anyone has any question? Last one.
I just have one last quick one, just while we've got Chema. I'm sure there's lots of players in the UK, and I know players from New Zealand and Australia as well, who would like to go to a different country and play futsal. I'm wondering which country you would recommend. Obviously, they could not go and play at a top level, but I know lots of people go to Italy and maybe play in a low division there. So someone who, you know, maybe a young player who is good and they have aspirations to get better, which country would you encourage them to go and live and maybe train, you know, proper futsal for a while?
Spain.
Are there opportunities for people to do this?
Yeah, and the problem now in Spain, the futsal is down now, you know, because the situation is no good. But I think Spain, not only for the futsal, for the culture too, you know, the culture in our country is open, you know, it's easy for you visit our country. Our language is very easy for you, trust me, very easy. It's not more difficult than English. It's very easy. So in my opinion, in Spain, and it's the same, you know, if you need my help, not only in Spain, in Peru, in Argentina, in Chile, in South Korea, if I can help you, please let me know. It's for me, it's no problem because I had a lot of contacts in all the world, you know, so I am at your disposal. If you need my help, no worries at all. You can tell me.
Ah, gracias. Thank you very much.
No worries.
Okay, so I think that's for today. Chema, amazing. As I said at the beginning, you are a gentleman on and off the court, and I think this proved right. Thank you so much again for coming chat with us so open, and that was amazing. So that's the end of the Royals talk for this week, and fantastic. Thank you very much, Chema, and thanks everyone that listened to the Royal show. Thank you.
No worries, Fernando. Thank you, for everyone. My pleasure. Very happy to see people love futsal like me. It's very important. My passion, my illusion, you know. And now our situation in the world is not good at all. You know, we are at home. We don't have, you know, to enjoy in our sport, but support, guys. We can get it, no problem. In your country, keep going, never give up, you know. In my country es siempre luchamos, nunca nos rendimos. So, effort, sacrifice, and humility, all the best for you always.
Thanks, Chema. And as we also say in the club, vamos.
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 No. No.
Vamos. That's the one. All right. Chema, thank you very much. Fantastic. Speak soon. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, everyone.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.
Gracias.
Thank you for you.